When money is tight, tires feel like an obvious place to save. The expensive tire and the cheap tire look identical on the bike. They're both round, they both hold air, they both have tread, and the price difference between them can be significant enough to cover fuel for weeks or a service interval. So, riders buy the cheap tire, and most of the time nothing bad happens. The bike rolls, the tire wears, life continues. And this outcome, nothing bad happening, is exactly what makes cheap tires so dangerous, because the ways they fail don't show up during normal riding. They show up in the specific conditions where your tire is asked to do the most: emergency braking, sudden evasive maneuvers, wet roads, high-speed corners. The exact moments where tire performance is the difference between walking away and not. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why cheap tires are dangerous, what specifically makes them different from quality tires, and what that difference means for you in the situations that matter most. What we cover at reason number 3 explains something that most riders would never guess from looking at two tires side by side. And reason number 5 is the one that concerns experienced riders and motorcycle safety researchers more than anything else on this list. Let's get into it. Reason 1. Inferior rubber compound means less grip. The most fundamental difference between a cheap tire and a quality tire is the rubber compound, the specific chemical formulation of the rubber used in the tire's contact patch. Quality tire manufacturers invest enormous resources in compound development. The compound needs to do several contradictory things simultaneously: remain soft and grippy enough to conform to road surface irregularities and generate traction, while remaining hard and durable enough to resist wear over thousands of miles. It needs to work across a wide temperature range, generating adequate grip when cold on a morning commute and maintaining grip when hot after aggressive riding. Cheap tire manufacturers don't have access to these compound formulations and don't invest in developing equivalent ones. The rubber compounds they use are simpler, harder, and optimized primarily for one thing: not wearing out quickly enough to generate customer complaints. A harder compound resists wear effectively. It does not grip effectively. You don't discover the grip deficit of a cheap tire on a sunny afternoon in normal traffic. You discover it in the moment you need everything the tire can give. Reason 2. Poor wet weather performance. Wet road performance is where the difference between quality and budget tires becomes most pronounced and most consequential. A motorcycle tire's wet grip depends on two things working together: the tread pattern channeling water away from the contact patch efficiently, and the rubber compound maintaining chemical adhesion to the road surface through the thin water film that remains even after channeling. Quality tires engineer both elements specifically for wet performance: tread patterns with optimized channeling geometry and compounds with silica content that maintain grip on wet surfaces across a wide temperature range. Budget tires have tread patterns that look similar but are designed to adequate rather than optimal standards, and compounds without the silica technology that makes the real difference in wet conditions. The result is a wet stopping distance on a budget tire that can be significantly longer than on a quality tire on the same bike in the same conditions with the same rider. Wet roads already reduce available grip compared to dry. A budget compound on a wet road compounds that reduction further. The margin for error shrinks to a point where normal hazards, a car pulling out, a pedestrian stepping off the curb, that a quality tire would handle, become situations that exceed available grip. Reason 3. Inconsistent construction quality. This is the one that surprises most riders, because it's not about the compound or the tread pattern, it's about what's inside the tire that you can never see. A motorcycle tire is a complex laminated structure. Multiple layers of rubber, fabric casing plies, and steel or nylon belt layers are assembled and cured under precise conditions to create a tire that's structurally uniform around its entire circumference. This uniformity is what allows the tire to run true, balance correctly, and behave predictably under all load conditions. Quality tire manufacturing involves strict process controls, material testing, and finished product inspection that ensures this structural uniformity is achieved consistently. Budget tire manufacturing, particularly from sources with minimal quality control, produces tires with structural variation: slightly thicker here, a casing ply that's not perfectly aligned, belt layers with inconsistent tension. These internal variations create a tire that doesn't run perfectly true even new, that requires more weight to balance than it should, that has a stiffness that varies around its circumference, meaning the handling field changes subtly but repeatedly with every wheel revolution, and that has unpredictable weak points that may not cause problems for thousands of miles and then fail suddenly when a specific load condition stresses the weak area. Reason 4. Accelerated and uneven wear. Cheap tires wear faster than quality tires. This is the trade-off their manufacturers make to keep the price competitive. A harder compound that grips less also happens to wear more slowly than a soft performance compound. But cheap compounds don't simply wear slower, they wear differently. Quality tires are engineered to wear evenly across the contact patch throughout their service life. The profile stays consistent, the handling character stays predictable, and the tire performs close to its original specification until it approaches the wear indicators. Cheap tires develop irregular wear patterns earlier in their life, center wear from highway use, edge wear from cornering, or cupping from suspension interaction. As these patterns develop, the contact patch becomes uneven and the handling field changes. The tire that felt adequately stable when new feels increasingly vague and inconsistent as wear develops unevenly. Riders adapting to this gradual change don't realize how far handling has degraded from the original baseline. They're riding on a progressively more compromised contact patch without a reference point for how compromised it's become. Reason 5. Unknown age and storage history. This is the one that concerns experienced riders and motorcycle safety researchers more than anything else on this list, and it applies specifically to the channels through which budget tires are most commonly sold: online marketplaces, gray market importers, and discount distributors with opaque supply chains. Quality tire retailers have high turnover and established supply chains with known storage conditions. The tire you buy from a reputable dealer is almost certainly within 2 years of manufacture. The budget tire you buy from an unverified online seller or gray market distributor might be 3, 4, or 5 years old, stored in conditions you know nothing about, sold as new because it has full tread depth and no visible damage. Every tire carries a DOT code on the sidewall. The last 4 digits are the manufacture date. The first 2 digits are the week, the last 2 are the year. A tire reading 2319 was manufactured in the 23rd week of 2019. Check this code on every tire before it goes on your bike. A budget tire with a manufacture date more than 3 years ago is a tire with degraded rubber properties, regardless of how it looks, regardless of what the seller says, regardless of the price. The money saved on cheap tires is real. The risk added by cheap tires is also real. And unlike most risks in motorcycling, this is one you choose deliberately every time you fit budget rubber and ride away. Buy the best tires your budget allows. They are the single most safety-critical component on your motorcycle. Subscribe for more real motorcycle knowledge. See you in the next one.